Let's start off with injury-wise. It didn't. Maybe I was wrong, but I didn't see Kevin out there. What's his status?
Still plugging away, but not quite ready yet.
I mean, there's only 3 games left. Is there just a chance that you just shut him down for the rest of the year?
Uh, I mean, I think we'll do what we can for the time being, but I suppose all possibilities are on the table. Obviously, we would like to have him back, but we'll discuss and see. It really comes down to the medical staff things.
Any other injuries ahead of the game against
I don't think so.
Pretty-
Jules is doing pretty well. He had a groin thing he was nursing last week, but he's doing pretty well, and I believe that's it.
Chicago, it's your second look at them. The first time since the home opener, the disappointing loss. What are you expecting from them from a tactical perspective?
They're a very different team than they were in the first couple of weeks. They've developed, seem to be developing a strong sense of their own identity. They've been very efficient, certainly in the last couple of months. They defend really well as a team. They attack well as a team. They have a good game plan, and the players all seem bought in. So certainly they're the team that took Miami apart last week. Mm-hmm. So they're very potent offensively. They have a lot of good players, and Kuipers is not only good but extremely hardworking. So he'll present some issues for us.
It's a short turnaround because you have to, after that, you have to fly to LA, which is a bit of a trek. How much do you think squad rotation is going to come into effect over these next 2 games?
I think so. I think to some extent. I mean, it's late in the year, the LAFC game. There will be some international call-ups that could affect things. I would think that within the 2-game stretch, there will be a bit of rotation.
You mentioned the international call-ups, and I wanted to ask about that. Are you anticipating to have the 3? I think it's 3: Lacoso, Richie, and Derek. Do you anticipate having them available for the LAFC game, or do you have to sort of let them go a little bit early?
I don't anticipate having them.
Okay, all 3.
Yeah.
Bit of a blow.
One might say. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I haven't looked at the dates closely, but I just know it's an international window, and a lot of players are going to be missing all throughout the league, and I think we'll be missing those 3.
Right. How do you sort of compensate for their absences? Just other people have to step up?
Same way we have all year. Between injuries and international call-ups and suspensions, we've dealt with quite a few this year, and it's just, you try to have the team system and mentality ingrained in such a way that it's plug and play. Obviously, you miss the real experience of some of these guys, all 3 of them actually, but we have a lot of good young players, and we'd certainly like to see them take advantage of these opportunities.
You've given starts to Derek in the last 2 games after you had pretty kind of quiet summer. What's been the thinking behind that, and what have you seen from them over these last 2 sort of starts?
Derek gives us a measure of experience, which leads to some really good decision making defensively, really good understanding offensively. Derek is someone I've known. He was in the academy when I was at Red Bull. So I've known him for a long time, and I've watched his career from afar and watched him flourish. And the thing about Derek that I really like is that he's really competent in a number of the attacking positions. And now the opportunity has presented itself to play as a 9 for us, and he's done quite well.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask about Alonso, because he's someone who I think has really grown strong over the last couple of years. What's been sort of your sort of take on him this season? Has there been sort of an evolution in his games since that you've seen?
I think he was one of the players that very early on we identified as someone who has a really good soccer brain. And he sees the field well, and his passing technique and ability is really, really good. He can hit a number of different types of passes. And we've just put him in a position where he is starting a lot of attacks for us, and he's been very, very good at that because he makes really good choices. He makes good choices based on the numbers and positioning and that sort of thing, and more times than not, he makes the right choice for us.
Would you like to see him have more goal contributions, or is that...
Hello?
Yeah.
Sure, we'd like to see everyone have more goal contributions, but at the end of the day, what he's doing for us has really been important in starting our attacks. Scoring, I think, out of Allo would be a bonus for us. So
Mhm.
sure, we'd like to see goals, but I think his big function for us has been not only in starting attacks, but also his defending work and defending diligence.
Do you see him as a big sort of part of the future, the team's future going forward? Just given that there's going to be some changes this offseason.
I think he's making a really strong case for himself every day, and I would say over the last 2 months or so, he's literally seems to be getting better day by day. So I think he's making a very strong argument for himself and what he can bring to this team, even as we go forward. And this is a point in our season where we're certainly looking at players and evaluating what we think they can be for us, not only in the next couple of weeks, but in the next couple of years.
And I guess the same question for Kobe, because he's someone who maybe didn't necessarily play a lot at the start of the season, but it's kind of getting some regular minutes now. What's been your impression of him? And do you see him as like a sort of can he be a long-term contributor to this team?
I absolutely think he can. Early in the year, I'll be honest, when we first got here, I thought he was pretty erratic, worked really hard, but was pretty erratic in some of his decisions. And that's really what kept him from playing for a while. And when he got his opportunity, he took it. He did extremely well. And I think since then, his confidence has grown. And daily in training now, he's making significant contributions. So he is a player that I certainly think can be a part of what we're doing going forward.
Jules is someone who, in sort of limited, I think it's 5 appearances off the bench, he's kind of made a bit of an impact. I think he has like a goal and assist. He had a hand in setting up Oso's goal against Montreal. What's been sort of your take on him this far?
He's got a lot of ability. He has a lot of ability. His feet are very good for a guy his size. He has very soft feet. He has a pretty good understanding on the attacking end of how to combine and how to create some opportunities. He's shown 1v1 ability. He's a player, as I said, we're intrigued by, and we continue to try to peel the layers and see what else is under there. He's been hampered a little bit by some injuries, and it slowed him down a bit, but overall he's certainly made an impression on us where we feel like this is a player who's really interesting for us.
Are the injuries maybe a reason why he hasn't started yet, or is that? Are there other reasons?
Off the top of my head, John, I'd have to think about all the games he's been here and all the reasons why the choices have been made. I think he's a young player who really has a lot to offer, but I do think he has a lot to learn as well. And we've been really, really happy with him. And the fact that he doesn't start, to me, doesn't mean anything. He's a player who we are seeing improve daily, seeing him understand what we ask out of him more and more. And like I said, I think he's someone we're really intrigued by. So the fact that he hasn't started yet has absolutely no bearing on how much we like him or don't like him. What's
been the mood like the last sort of couple of weeks with all these draws too? I mean, on the one hand, it's you can say undefeated in 7, which is great, but you're not getting sort of rewarded exactly the way you might necessarily want. So I would just wonder what's been sort of like the mentality of the team.
They've been great.
Yeah,
they've been great. They expressed great disappointment at the end of the games. But I think there's a belief within the group, a belief in each other, and it just, because of that, they've continued to work extremely hard. And you come out to training, you would never think that this isn't a playoff team, just based on the intensity of training and even in individual work, the amount of things that guys are doing on their own to try to improve their own games, just knowing that it'll eventually lead to this reward that we keep talking about. And we've played pretty well over the last stretch. I listen to pundits and around the league and the things they say, and people don't notice until you win, and that's fine.
Right.
And we understand that that's just the way it's going to be. We see improvement. We continue to see improvement. We see improvement in the players individually. We see improvement in the team. And we obviously want to finish more chances. And if we do, maybe out of the 7 draws, we might have 5 wins, right? If we were a little bit more efficient in the final part of the field. But we've been working at it, and guys have been very diligent. And we're pleased with the progress that we've seen from the beginning till now.